Hi, it's Groundhog Peggy, and I got a comment the other day when I did Waterbound on a like finding my fiddle groove video that I did, and it's so rare I get a comment telling me, asking me to do something else. So I thought, well, yeah, I do it. It is raining. He said save it for a rainy day, and it started raining right after I saw that. So anyway, I'm gonna tune it down. I got a G, D, and the A I'm going to put down on a G. And the E I'm going to put down on a D, just like that one. And I know this mute sound makes it sound funny, but I think with the Chromebook that I record with, if you don't mute it, it cancels out its own notes. The Chromebook cancels them out or something, and it's like got, I guess pixelated. I don't know if you can call sound pixelated. It sounds pixelated. It sounds like it's got broken up things. Okay. Anyway, or somebody I know always says, if you're breaking up on a cell phone, he always says you're cracking up. That's true too, I guess, in a lot of situations. But anyway, here's Waterbound. I will use the same fingerings on these two strings. It'd be exactly the same, but it changes on the bottom two strings. And they actually become more helpful when it's tuned in Sawmill tuning. You can either tune A, E, G, D, whatever, even tune it lower if you want to. But as long as it's sounds like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And this one is an octave of that. And you've got two perfect fifths in octaves from two sets. So it would, the fingering on the bottom would be the same as what I showed in the video, which I'll link up there wherever it goes. And here's where it changes, because in the standard tuning you have to come up here and go to this, but in this Sawmill tuning you're just going on this, so you've got that drone there too. So when you go up to here, you've got a unison that's really easy to get. You don't have to go up there, And this is the same here. And then you can do it on a lower octave, and you do have a problem because you can't get down below the G, but I don't really care. It works out okay. It's the same right there. See, you can't go, so you have to go or something like that, because you can't go down there unless you have another string down there. Now it's the same. this drone. And you can use that drone again. Anyway, it just works out with easier fingering, and you get more drones, and then you have the option. A lot of things you can just go down to the lower octave and not miss any notes, but on this particular tune you do miss out on a lower note, but it doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. You can figure out some way to deal with it, or you could even just play it up here. And then do this on a lower octave. You have all kinds of choices that you can do, but just in the Sawmill tuning, I think it works out better, and it's less awkward if you put your fiddle up in the other tuning. It's just harder for me, I think. And if you're going to do that's just a little bit harder to do, to get that unison. That's hard for me. So you don't have to do all those fancy fingerings if you're in Sawmill. And then the drones just ring out a lot more than when you're going. Or if you're open on that. Whoops. This. My mute's making it sound funny, but you could even do that. So it's just, I think it works out better for that kind of a tune, and for a lot of tunes, really, it just works out better in the Sawmill tuning. If you have a perfect fifth, and then just up an octave, another, that one's awful, that one's sharp, another perfect fifth. It works out easier, and it gets some really nice sounds too. So, and you can still do you can still do double stops. very good, but I mean, you can do things like that. The only thing is, you have a perfect fifth here and a perfect fifth here. So you can do double stops on these two sets of strings or these two sets of strings. And when you get here, that's not going to work. But if you reverse it instead of this, you can do a double stop there if you want to. And you've got them kind of, usually it would be the double stop if you have if you're in standard tuning, but you just reverse those two. And you have here a perfect fifth and a perfect fourth. Sorry. And then another perfect fifth. A perfect fifth starts out kind of like a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And a perfect fourth sounds like Here Comes the Bride. That's how I learned it when I was like 12. And that's just the way I think of it. Like all the intervals sound like the beginning of some song. And the perfect fifths sound like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And the perfect fourths sound like Here Comes the Bride. And then while we're in GD, if you move this G up to an A and move this one up to an A, you're in what a lot of people call Cumberland Gap tuning. I call it that just so I have some way to think of a name for it. It's a perfect fourths. And you got your perfect fifth right in the middle. That's the only place you got a perfect fifth is between these two. So you can play your regular double stop there. But you can't here on these two. You have to reverse them. Instead of this way, you have to do it that way. And this, so. I got lost there for a minute. Forgot what tuning I was in. But anyway, that's a good one too. Cumberland Gap tuning. Play Wild Hog in the Woods or Cumberland Gap or Wish I Was a Mole in the Ground, or I mean a lot of things work real good in that one too. But you know, it's different things work out because of where the octaves lay. I find that in ADAD, you don't usually have you can't usually play two octaves of a thing. You play it more in the lower octave and then you just go up. Let's see. I can't think how it goes now. Okay. My fiddle won't stay in tune good. This is my PreSonus room, and the instruments don't stay in tune good if there's rain or if it's cold or if it's hot. In other words, if you have weather at all, the instruments won't stay in tune very good. But let me try it. Okay, I can't. playing in the middle strings more, that's my point in fumbling around with this Mole in the Ground, which I haven't played it for like 5 years or 2 years or something, so I can't remember it. But you're playing more in the middle strings on anything you play in ADAD, so you're not really going to get that high octave and the low octave. You'll just get. String's slipping again. So that's the difference. And a lot of tunes work out better if you focus on the middle strings and then you're in ADAD. And a lot of tunes work better if you focus on the two strings at the outer edges, and then you usually get an octave in Sawmill tuning. So that's quick thing that I know, and can't say I know much, but anyway, that's it. Bye bye and happy fiddling.